Good morning. Thank you for tuning into this morning's service. We are completely cyber today, as we expect to be throughout June. Unfortunately, by the time you see this, we will have begun our remediation for fire and smoke damage. Thank you for all the support you have given us during this difficult time. We're going to record the service today for your participation. It will be our Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of June. Again, thank you for participating at home for this service. This is our June Shotsuki Hoyo service. So we'll begin by reading the names of those who we know have passed in the month of June. If you lost someone in the month of June and they're not on our list, please let us know. There's no charge for this. We'll be happy to read their name every month in perpetuity, as long as the temple's here. And for today, this is our June Shotsuki Hoyo list. Aoki Takuma, Doi Rikiso, Fujitaki Mitsuko, Fuo Takashi, Gibbs Hayes, Catherine Katie Gibbs Hayes, Tamiko Goto, Ito Hamada, Shusaku Hamada, Hamano Saka, Hatate Alfred Isamu, Hayama Asayo, Hayashi Yasusuke, Higashiyama Shokichi, Hiramoto Frank Keizo, Hirashima Kiku, Hisayasu Bruce Katsuichi, Ito Shigeo, Kanebayashi Komura, Kakizoe Tsuruko, Kaide Saka, Kikawa Shoji, Kikawa Yoshie, Kobayashi Fusayo, Kobuke Kanekichi, Masumoto Mayo, Matsuba Douglas Yoshihiro, Matsumoto Isematsu, Miyahara Henry, Mori Nobuo, Muraki Soyo, Nagayama Kamino, Nagamoto Mosaku, Nakanishi George Shigeo, Noda Kazumatsu, Nori Nobu, Ogawa Hiroyuki, Ogawa Jun Saburo, Oshita Isaburo, Oyama Toshimi, Ropyakuda Hiroko, Sakai Noboru, Sakida Kiichi, Sano Yoshie, Shimoda Tomeichi, Shimomae Takeji, Shoda Motojiro, Sugasawara Misao, Sugita Matsuji, Takahashi Atoru, Takai Taju, Take no Uchi Shotsuchi, Tanaka Kinai, Tarumoto Hatsue, Terada Mitsue, Tokinobu Itaro, Tsukida Hironori, Umeta Noboru, Wakasa Iwao, Yamada Kunikichi, Yamamoto Hisayo, Yamashita Setsu, Yokoyama Isao, Yoneda Narumi John. These are our friends who have passed in the month of June who we recall here today. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. I will go over to the Doshi side of the Naijin, the inner area, and I will lead the chanting of the Sanbutsuge. Please join me at home as you will. Namanabutsu, Namitabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namanabutsu, 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 Namandabu, Namanda, Namandabu, 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 Namamirabutsu. Now, as usual, I will announce the service first, so I will chant the Shishinrai and then announce the service. Then I'll ask all of you at home to join me in the chanting of the Sanbutsuge. Shishin kei ilei namo shochiu hu. Shishin kei ilei namo shochiu ho. Shishin kei ilei namo shochiu so. Today, on this occasion of the June Shotsuki Hoyo service, the members of the Pasadena Buddhist Temple, our friends and our guests reaffirm our reliance upon the three treasures of the truth. We rely upon the Buddha. We rely upon the Dharma. We rely upon the Sangha. Namandabutsu, 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 Namitabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu. And now, if you would, join me in the chanting of the Sanbutsuge. Busatsu Daimuryo Jukyo Sanbutsuge Kogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Yode Enmyo Muyo Tosha Nichigaten Mani Shuko Enyo Kaishtonpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyolai Yogen Tyoche Murin Kyongaku Daion Koru Jipo Kaimon Shojin Sammai Chie Itoku Muryo Shushokeu Juntai Lennen Shobuten Hokai Kujin Jinno Kungong Aitai Mumyo Yokunu Teison Momu Ninno Shishi Jintoku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Ganga Tabuten Daisho Ho Kado Shoji Nifuge Daten Fute Joi Kainin Shojin Yose Sammai Chie Ijo Gote Tokubuten Fugyo Shigan Isai Kuku Isa Dayon Keshi Ubuten Yakusen Nokuman Muryo Daisho Shunyong Oda Kuyo Isai Shito Shobuten Kunyo Guro Tensho Fugyaku 인용오랴 쇼붙은 세카이 우후카게 무슈set도 고묘시쇼 엔시쇼코쿠 묘대쇼진 이진난려 요가타붙은 국도 다이치 고슈키며 도조 조set은 코쿠뇨나yon 니무토소 가토 아이민도다튼 이사이 지포라이쇼 신네튼 쇼조 이토가 코쿠 케이라쿠 안논 코부튼 신묘 세가 신쇼 호츠간 노히 리키쇼 쇼요쿠 지포 세손 시에 무게 조려 시손 시가 신교 해려 신시 쇼쿠 도쿠추 가교 쇼진 닌주 후케 나만나부 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 간니 시쿠도쿠 요도 세이사이 돈모나이 신 온요 나모미라붓스 나모나붓스 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 나모미라붓스 나모나붓스 나모미라붓스 나모나붓스 나모미라붓스 나모나붓스 Well, thank you again for joining us for this somewhat abbreviated service. But the Dharma message won't be abbreviated. It'll be the usual amount of time. I have fewer people to thank today. We have a somewhat abbreviated service. You must forgive me for not trying to sing a cappella. Alan Goto is here helping me to record this service, and he will provide the tech support we need to get it up on the Nijin. So I do want to thank Alan for his hard work every week. And our service this morning is dedicated to the people whose names I just read, the honorees for the monthly Shotsuki Hoyo service, the monthly memorial service for those who passed in the month of June. My Aunt Katie was on that list, Katie Gibbs Hayes. She passed away in June of 2013 at the age of 102. I hope I can resemble her in having a long life. It doesn't necessarily have to be that long. My Aunt Katie was predeceased by her husband and by both of her sons. She was also predeceased by her 3 sisters and her 3 brothers. I wouldn't want to have any more of my family members predecease me if I can avoid it. I have lost my parents, as most of us do, and I've lost, I guess, my 3 uncles and my 3 aunties and a couple of cousins, and that's enough. That's enough. So I don't know if I want to be 102. On the other hand, if I were to live to be 102, my wife Kyoko would just be 78, so she'd still probably be well. My first son, Sho, would be 53, and our second son, who lives with us, our beloved Ren, it would be 47. So, I'll have to think about this. How long can I live? I won't rule it out. I won't rule out living as long as my Aunt Katie did, but I'm not going to assume it'll be past 100. I'm not counting on it being past 100. My Aunt Katie was fun to be with. She was a good, lively person who enjoyed life and enjoyed being with others. People like her should live past 100. Now, last week I spoke with you about how it's all right for us to cling to some people and some things. Yes, clinging causes suffering. Clinging also brings the possibility of joy and fulfillment. It's okay to cling to some persons and some things. Cling to your family. I cling to mine. Hold on to the Nembutsu. Hold on to Namo Amida Butsu. Clinging to persons and things, clinging to persons, clinging to things brings the possibility of suffering, but it also increases the possibility of joy. How much suffering can you take? By reducing the number of people and things that we cling to, we will reduce the threat of suffering that comes into our lives. But we also may lose some of the potential for joy. Not everyone takes the same amount of joy from the same sources. I am not into gambling. And about 50 years ago, my friends drugged me to the Fresno County Fair and said, "Oh, come on, go play the horses, play the horses." So I bet $2 on some horse, and I won $1.50. It came in, it placed, and so I could have turned my ticket in for $3.50. But there were 75 people in line waiting to turn in their tickets. I said, "Let's just go. I don't need the $3.50." It's just, I mean, some people go, "My horse came in." And so my horse came in. It made me $1.50, and I don't want to take the trouble to stand in line to get it. Not everyone takes the same joy from the same events, from the same sources. I take great pleasure in being a father, and I've had much joy in parenting my sons. People like me should have children. People like my Aunt Katie should live past 100. People like me should have children, however long we live. People who take such satisfaction as I do in parenting, as I have in parenting, are fortunate. They're lucky. But loving your children and clinging to them, as I do cling to mine, also makes you vulnerable. What if they get hurt? What if they get sick? What if they become seriously ill? I mentioned much of this last week as well, but this morning I want to speak to you about how this clinging, upadana in Sanskrit, how this clinging pertains to the meaning of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, and other Buddhist ideas. Our central idea in the Pure Land stream of Mahayana Buddhism is that the Buddha's heart and mind are committed to the awakening to truth and happiness of all living beings. The Buddha is committed to leading all living beings to the fulfillment of awakening, to the happiness and the insight of awakening. This is our most central idea. It's a good idea. Amida Buddha's promise is a pledge to lead everyone out of distress, and into light and delight, into the light and delight of enlightenment. Everyone, including you, everyone gets led into the light, including us. Everyone is welcomed into the realm of awakening, most especially us. Most especially us because it's not real otherwise. It's just an abstract idea. It's a mere idea if it doesn't include us. It does include us. We need ideas to access reality, that's true. But sometimes we need to let go of our attachment to those ideas in order to engage more fully with the realities that they represent. Our central concept is, again, that the Buddha has promised to make all of us free and lead us into favorable circumstances. The idea is that we can hear that reassuring promise in our own voices when we say Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Kimyo Jinjipo Mugiko Norai, any of the forms of the Nembutsu. So that's what Namo Amida Butsu, Kimyo Jinjipo, Kimyo Jinjipo, Kimyo Jinjipo, Muge Ko Nyorai, Namo Amida Butsu, Namana Butsu, all those verbal forms mean that you are going to walk into the light and the goodness, and you're going to walk along with me and all your friends. It's a substantial amount of meaning that's packed into Namanda and cognates, other forms, Namanda. Kimyo, Jinjipo, Muge Ko Nyorai, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namana Butsu, all these forms of Nembutsu carry this deep and elaborate meaning. Even so, the important thing is to encounter this reality, this real process of liberation. And in doing so, we let go of the thinking and reasoning and the meaning making. This is why Shinran made that rather startling statement as recorded in Article 10 of the Tani Sho. And I'll give it to you in Japanese first because nobody translates it literally. And in Japanese it is Nembutsu ni wa mugi o motegi tosu. Now, nobody, including my friends Dennis Hirota and David Matsumoto, translate this literally. And if you will allow me to, I'll give you a literal interpretation. And what this means literally is that Namo Amida Butsu and other verbal forms of Nembutsu point towards limitless acceptance and tireless caring. Namo Amida Butsu and the other forms of Nembutsu are the expressions of an unlimited inclusion and a genuine love. And that is what we come to hear. Namo Amida Butsu is a sound, Namo Amida Butsu, but we hear the compassion, the caring, the love, the inclusion, the actual caring for us, and the invitation to a fuller and more fulfilling life. This is what Namo Amida Butsu really means. So when Shinran says that the meaning of the Nembutsu is to hold no particular meaning at all, what he means is that it goes beyond any explanation. It is a contact with what is real, good, and nurturing. So in the simple voicing of phrases like Namo Amida Butsu, we encounter that which is sacred and reliable. We need to use ideas. We need to use these ideas to engage with life more fully and effectively. But we also need to let go of thinking and rest from time to time, and to just say and hear Namo Amida Butsu. We hold the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, but we release our interpretation of it. We let go of that at some point. We say Namanda and stop worrying too much about the meaning of it all. Hold the Nembutsu. Hold on to your family and friends. Let go of almost everything else. Not let go because all these other matters are unimportant. Being paid a decent wage is important. Preserving democracy is important. Healing our ecological environment is important. But there are times to stop thinking and simply engage in and enjoy our lives. Just engage and enjoy your life, perhaps saying Namo Amida Butsu as you do so. There are times to simply enjoy saying Namo Amida Butsu. There are times to simply enjoy saying and hearing Namo Amida Butsu. In closing, let me share one anecdote told by the philosopher Kierkegaard. That is the rough pronunciation of that name, Kierkegaard. I had a roommate named Lance Kierkegaard, and I later met his father, who was a surgeon, not very popular in the same hospital where I worked. And everyone hears this name, this philosopher, nobody reads him, but Kierkegaard, and they all call him Kierkegaard. And so he would go to these nurses and say, that's not pronounced Kierkegaard, it's called Kierkegaard. Kierkegaard. And so the nurses called him Dr. Turkeygaard. And they say, Dr. Turkeygaard's going to be on the ward pretty soon, so get ready. And say, oh, thanks for the warning. Kierkegaard. Yeah, but the philosopher Kierkegaard was an interesting fellow, 19th century philosopher. And he tells an anecdote. It's a true anecdote. He used to pass this shop every day, almost every day when he walked to the library. And the shop was a curio shop, had a bunch of stuff in the window. And one of the signs on the window said, pants pressed. So one day he carried his pants to the shop to get them pressed, and he found out it's a curio shop. That sign, pants pressed, that's for sale. They're selling the sign, pants pressed here. They don't press pants. So he was kind of struck with that fact that he was engaged with a sign and not the reality. Don't settle for explanations, not even mine. Don't buy the sign. Get your pants pressed. Feel the compassion of the Buddha. Settle down into that acceptance and warmth and inclusion that can be heard as Namo Amida Butsu. Settle down into the acceptance, the warmth, and the inclusion of Namo Amida Butsu. Actually, say and hear the Nembutsu, if you will. And in closing the Dharma message portion of this service, just about to close the whole service, join me in saying the Nembutsu, if you will, in any form you like. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. That will conclude the Dharma message portion of our service, and I'm just about here to conclude our service. Keep in touch with us. We will be back sometime in July, if not before, but this is today is our last really day on the campus of our temple before the remediation of the fire damage. Many of you have already made substantial donations. We notice and we appreciate. Thank you so much for your support of our temple and for our members who've lost their homes. We really appreciate all the support we have seen in these last few months, and we hope to see you in person before too long, but for the next little while, it's going to be Cyberland. So I'll see you in Cyberland again in cyberspace soon, and hope to see you at the Pasadena Buddhist Temple before too long, certainly by sometime in the month of July. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the service today. I will close the service itself with a Nembutsu. Join me as you wish. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Thank you very much.